This video is designed to help you create a graph using Google Sheets. So the first thing you'll need to do is log into your MCPS Google account. And then when you click on these icons, you're going to select Sheets. And then you're going to go ahead and select a blank sheet. Once the page loads, then you're going to go ahead and type in your axes titles. So this is going to be a random graph with random data. So I'll put time, because you always want to type whatever goes on your x-axis first, and then you're going to type whatever goes on your y-axis second. And since we've been doing a lot with position time graphs, I'll go ahead and make one of those. So I'm going to put in some data here. So you would type in your data. Alright, so once you have your data typed into your Excel sheet, you're going to highlight the two columns, the two sets of variables that you would like to graph. And then you're going to go to Insert, and you're going to select Chart. And this will open the chart editor within Google. Now it's going to default to a chart type that we don't want, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on Chart Type, and we're going to scroll down until we see Scatter. When we're graphing in physics, you always want a scatter graph. So now you can see it's starting to look a little bit more like a line graph, but we're still missing our x-axis. So what we're going to do next is we're going to click on x-axis, and since my x-axis time over here is in column A, I'm going to go ahead and put A1, which is the first box in that column, to A5, which is the last box in that column. So again, this little colon in between lets Google Sheets know that that's the set of data I want on my x-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So now, as you can see, I have this appearing along the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete time from my series because I want time on the x and I want distance on my y. So now I've got a graph, a line graph. So now I'm going to go to Customize to add a little bit more information. So I can make it so that my title is y-axis versus x-axis. So distance versus time. I've got my units, meters, and seconds in parentheses. And as you can see, as I type in here, it makes the change automatically on my graph. Now the next thing we're going to do is click on Series. I'm going to go ahead and add a trend line. Now if the data is not linear, you can change it to be a different type of function. So like if it's a squared graph, you could do polynomial and it would fit to the curve. It's an exponential graph or logarithmic. You can pick the one that best fits. These graphs look, or these points look linear, so I'm going to go ahead and do a linear graph. You can change the color of the line. So if you want it to be a different color from your data, you can do that as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to label. And I always want to choose the label as use equation. And this right here is my best fit line. So I've got the slope of my best fit line as a function of x, whichever is on the x-axis, plus the y-intercept, so y equals mx plus b. I'm also going to check the r-squared box. Now because I put in points that were pretty much linear, my r-squared value is 1. And the r-squared value basically tells you how close to your best fit line all the data points are. Since all of my points are on my best fit line, that's why my r-squared value is 1. So now I'm going to scroll back up to chart titles and axis titles. And so it started off as chart title, but now I'm going to go ahead and click on horizontal axis title. And this is where I can type what I want my label to be on my axis. And since that is my time data, I'm going to put time in seconds. So we always put the name of the variable and then what it's measured in. And then I can do the same thing for my vertical axes. And that's distance, and it's measured in meters. And again, once I've done that, I've now got my title, my axes labels, I've put in my best fit line, and I've displayed it as an equation, and I have my r-squared value. And these are all of the components you will need on your graphs when you are making them for labs and assignments in this course.